and welcome back to our kitchen where we test out different recipes from a different Catholic cookbook every month.
And our cookbook for January looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, so let's get started.
So our book this month is a super fun combination of a cooking memoir along with traditional recipes, and we just enjoyed it so much.
And the book is called Cooking My Way to Heaven, My Convent Life in Notre Dame Recipes by Mary Ann Quinn.
So Mary Ann Quinn was a sister of Notre Dame, and she was a cook sister. So that meant her job was to help feed all the nuns in the convent when she was first starting out, and then later all the people in the schools and parishes where she worked.
So that would mean feeding hundreds of people 3 times a day, and you can imagine she has some very interesting stories to tell about that.
Oh my gosh, we loved going behind the scenes of the convent kitchen with her, all the logistics and the planning and the food and the mishaps, the funny mishaps that happened along the way.
So this book has some very interesting recipes in it, one of which we're going to be trying today. It's called beef porcupines, which has nothing to do with an actual porcupine, thankfully.
Yeah, don't worry, no porcupines died to make this recipe, but it is very interesting. We'll explain as we go along, and we hope it turns out.
We're also going to be trying a very new to us side dish called Sister Dorotheus's cottage cheese and noodle casserole. Very like 1960s. I'm not convinced of that combination just yet.
Okay, so Mary Ann Quinn entered the convent in the 1960s. So yes, some of these recipes are good old-fashioned casseroles from the 60s and 70s. And evidently the cottage cheese and noodle casserole was a Lenten favorite of the sisters. Now we have Lent coming right up, so we're trying this dish out.
We're also going to be trying a smoothie recipe today in honor of Our Lady of Altagracia, whose feast day is on January 21st.
So Our Lady of Altagracia is the patron saint of the Dominican Republic, and we have a wonderful picture book about her called A Gift of Gracias. It's the story of young Maria, whose family owns an olive grove, but the olive crop fails, which is not good news. However, in a dream, a beautiful woman appears to Maria and says, "Don't worry about the olives. I want you to switch to oranges. You need to plant an orange grove."
So no spoilers on how that story ends, but in honor of Our Lady of Altagracia, we're going to be trying this recipe for orange smoothies, which comes from a fun Catholic cooking website called Catholic Cuisine, which we'll have linked down below. So first, for the beef porcupines, you need rice, tomato soup, an onion, salt and pepper, hot water, and then lean ground beef. We're going to be using ground venison, however, because that's what we have.
We have hunters in the family, so we got to eat what they bring home, right? Because, yay, not our thing, but some people like to hunt in our family. That's how we're saying. Okay, and then the premise of this recipe is you mix the uncooked rice with the ground beef, and you make like little porcupine-shaped bodies, and then as it cooks, the rice pops out of the meat, supposedly, theoretically, and it looks like a porcupine.
So that's the theory, that's what's supposed to happen, and apparently this was a favorite of the sisters in the convent.
So we'll see if it's a favorite here.
We started first with the onion, which we tried to grate like the recipe said, but it didn't work, so we got out our chopper. And of course, our helper is here, obviously. Then we added the onion and the rice together, along with the ground venison, salt and pepper, and then we mixed that all together. Then we prepped the tomato soup, so just dumped out the cans and diluted it with hot water. And then we made our beef porcupines. Then we poured the tomato soup over top of the meat. That got covered with a wrap of tin foil, and then we put it in the oven to cook for about an hour.
Kate is consoling Bishop Beagle because he can't eat all the ground venison. It's a very sad day for him, so she's given him a little bit of love.
Oh. Now for the cottage cheese and noodle casserole, you need cornflakes, cooking oil, eggs, celery, an onion, cottage cheese, pepper, and egg noodles.
And as originally written, this recipe could feed about 20 nuns, but obviously we don't have 20, although Bishop Beagle would be happy to eat all the leftovers.
So we're going to scale that down to about 5 or 10 people. So
yes,
cut it in half.
Especially
roughly.
Since this is our wild card. I mean, cottage cheese and noodles. Not sure how the boys are gonna think about that, but yeah.
We started by first setting some water to boil and then cut up the celery. Then we sauteed that with the onion until it was soft. Then the water was ready, so we dumped in our noodles to let those cook and beat up some eggs for later. Then the casserole dish had to be greased. Then we mixed the noodles together with the vegetables and a whole tub of cottage cheese. Then we added in the eggs and the pepper, though you don't see that here. And then we just mixed that all together and transferred that into our casserole dish. And then we beat up some cornflakes and put those over the top for the crunch, and then stuck that in the oven with the porcupines.
And lastly, for the smoothie, we're going to need milk, vanilla extract, frozen orange juice concentrate, powdered sugar, and then water and ice cubes.
Healthy right here, powdered sugar. It's fine. It's a feast day food.
It's giving orange soda instead of a smoothie.
Orange soda vibes are coming off. We'll see how it turns out.
So in went the orange juice concentrate first, then the water, the milk, the vanilla extract, and powdered sugar, and then we just mixed that all together. Then, while it was still going, we added in the ice cubes until it was smooth.
Okay, we've got everything in the oven. The smoothies are ready, so we're going to go ahead and try them while they're still cold, of course. So here we go.
Very liquid.
Yes, we've noticed it's a very liquid type of smoothie. Maybe we could have put more ice in it, I don't know. This is enough smoothie for a crowd. It is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's not too sweet. It's not too thick or too thin.
That's a good smoothie.
It's a good smoothie. It's a good consistency.
It's almost milkshake consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Light orange sweetness.
Yeah, very good. Definitely, this is a winner recipe. Refreshing. So while we're waiting for everything in the oven to finish up, we wanted to talk a little bit about the book apart from the recipes. For one thing, if you need to feed a large crowd, this book has you covered. These recipes are scaled up.
And the book also has tons of unique recipes, like we mentioned, things like buttermilk soup or Swedish eggs. A lot of them look really easy and really good. I mean, buttermilk soup, maybe we're not there yet.
Maybe we're not there yet. The author does say that it's an acquired taste, but in any case, we really enjoyed the book. Even if you don't cook from it, you can enjoy the stories that peek into the life at the convent and the convent kitchen. How do they feed 300 nuns a day? Also, they kept their kitchen sparkling clean. They scrubbed it top to bottom every single day, including the floors. That doesn't happen here, like the floors. Okay,
Yep.
That's what Bishop Beagle's for.
And they also had a lot of really interesting feast day menus at the convent. They loved to celebrate with food. Bacon was reserved for first class feast days, as they put it.
So there was first class, second class, and then I guess regular. I don't know. It was just interesting all around. All right, we're doing the unveiling. Will it look like a porcupine? Oh my god, it does!
Kind of.
It sure does! That's awesome!
The rice does poke out.
Okay, it worked. This is so much fun. They actually do look like little porcupines with the rice sticking out. So that's awesome.
And the soup is not supposed to be all the way absorbed. It's supposed to be like a gravy of sorts.
Or maybe a soup, or I don't know. Maybe you serve the porcupine floating in the tomato soup. I don't know. We're gonna wing it. It's fine. Okay, so now we're going to taste it. Let's see, it's hot. Here comes Bishop Beagle, of course. Oh, I'm gonna taste it. It's
like
good.
you would expect.
Yeah, it tastes like you would expect. Like it's like a meatloaf in tomato sauce with rice. So this would be a fun one to do with kids. I think, you know, make them into like little animals. All right, now we're trying Sister Dorothea's cottage cheese and noodle casserole. Don't you just want to go to a potluck in 1967 with this? Okay. Okay.
Here goes nothing.
I'll let Kate try it. Okay. It's definitely drier than I thought. It's not a cheesy like macaroni and cheese type of thing, but maybe we used extra noodles. Maybe that's why.
Not the most flavorful.
Yeah, but I think there's no salt in this recipe. We're going to add some salt. It is definitely not bad as is. It's a noodle dish. I mean, what do you want?
Noodles and cheese, you know?
It's Lent. It's for Lent. So, yeah, the salt definitely elevates this into pretty darn good. Maybe the sisters gave up salt for Lent. We don't know.
All right, so that was our Catholic cooking for January with Cooking My Way to Heaven and Our Lady of Altagracia.
So we tried 3 very new to us recipes. Oh, maybe not the smoothie. We've had smoothies before.
But 3 very different recipes.
Yeah, it's hard to compare them. Which one was our favorite? It's hard to say.
The smoothies were good.
The smoothies were good. It's hot here today. It's almost 70, so very refreshing.
But in the way of savory dishes, those porcupines were very good also.
Yes.
And a lot of fun.
I think the porcupines have the fun factor built in, so definitely. Anyway, none of these recipes are ones that I wouldn't make again. We would definitely do them all again. So,
thank you for joining us in the kitchen today. Let us know in the comments if you try any of these recipes.
So thank you as always for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video and we'll see you next month in our Catholic kitchen. Bye.